All right. So from there, I am going to jump into boiler. Is there, are we doing okay so far? Yeah. Okay. All right. So boilers, a person shall not install or alter a boiler without first obtaining a permit. Um, the state of Michigan is the only one other than the city of Detroit who has the authority to permit and inspect boilers. So if it is a boiler, we're going to do this. The difference between boilers and hydronic on the mechanical side, it's a size thing. So that is going to be more on the commercial side. Um, it is how it simplifies down to that. And again, these are just the law references where it requires you to have a license to obtain a permit, and a permit is required to install or alter or repair a boiler. All right, boiler installer classifications. Um, they progress. You have 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B. Those progress through again, it's going to be the pressure and the BTUs per devices. We do have upcoming rules that address some of this. So we're going to combine and condense some of these because it seems like actually in the field, 1 and 2 will be combined in our proposed rules because that seems like a more applicable situation. Then going forward, it would be the 3, 4, 5. 6 is I don't think that we have any 6B licenses. These are nuclear and they're typically handled at the federal level. So we are not typically involved, but we have them. And then Class P is your non-boiler external pipe. Boiler repair licenses follow the same kind of line. Again, going forward with an upcoming rule changes that we'll have, we are actually combining 2 and 3 because that was more applicable to what's going on in the field. So we'll have class 1, class 2, class 4, and class 5. And again, that class P is going to be that non-boiler external piping repairs. Okay. So how to get a boiler installer repair license? These require 5 years of experience. You can get a credit of 2 years of experience, 2 years on the installer and 3 years on the repair towards that 5 years of work that you have done in the design, construction, manufacture, inspection of boilers. We do license boiler inspectors outside of what the Bureau of Construction Codes does. It is a lot of them are hired by insurance companies to inspect for insurance purposes. Boiler licensees can upgrade their licenses at each classification after a year. So if you have a 1B and you have held that for 1 year, so you had 5 years to get it, you've held it for 1 year, you can apply to sit for a 2B and so on until you have the higher level that covers all of those. We do see a lot of businesses that have both. They will have boiler licenses and they will have the mechanical hydronic licenses just to make sure that they're within a project and nothing stops them. Okay, applications. So submitting an application, we do have our online system. Again, these are all workable links. I will pop this open real, see if that'll pop open. So we have our online system. I always strongly suggest the online system because when you submit a paper application, one, it takes a long time to get to us in the first place, and then it has a whole process to get to us. So submitting applications online are always the best way to go. And I have staff in the office answering phones Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. They walk people through these all the time. And we have, there's help off of that, the help screens off of that link. There's also ones we can email you that are a little bit more detailed that we've made notes on ourselves. So strongly suggest those get done online, but paper we process also the same. The second link is the licensing section, and that gives you all of your applications. So if you do want a paper application, you're going to find your boiler ones and your mechanical contractor ones there, along with everybody else's. Experience statements. So the law requires that you provide experience statements to sit for each license. This mechanical contractor experience statement, we don't have one for boiler yet. We're changing our processes, so we haven't created one for them yet. But it is similar, and you can use that for that application, or just a letter. Excuse me, a letter. Just a letter that would be submitted to us on a piece of lined paper. Um, Mechanical applications are $300 for the initial mechanical contractor license, and that is a 3-year license. On the boiler side, those are $80 and those are yearly. There is no additional application or review fee. So that when you go to renew those licenses, they're the same cost. Same time frame, same cost. So all classifications are going to require an examination. PSI is our third party proctor. They can schedule exams 6 days a week, whether you are in state or out of state. They will do most of our exams all over the United States. Not all, but most of our exams. So especially like on the boiler ones, we get a lot of out of state applicants. These links here are right to the candidate bulletins that tell you how many questions, how much time you have. They also give you what information you can bring into the examination because they both are open book exams. So it'll be code books, it'll be law references, things like that. So then in addition, it'll also have the very specific requirements when you do go sit for the exam. Upgrades to the mechanical contractor licenses. Again, if you want to upgrade and you've held that license for 3 years, based on when you submit your application after that 3 years, where you're at within that 3-year cycle, the application will be prorated. So if you only have 1 year left on your cycle, it would only be $100 fee and not the $300. Upgrades to the boiler will be $80 and we'll trigger that renewal with those. The licensing section staff, they help people walk through this all the time. We get questions about it, all kinds of different things. So use them. They will reach out to me if they're not certain about what an answer is, or we'll do the research. I mean, we work with the trade side a lot to double check on what type of equipment there is that would require licensing. Again, that A2L question has come up and we've, gotten reference from them. But then I also want to talk about how we can help to get letters signed for those who cannot get letters signed when they're making application. So when an applicant is having trouble getting a letter signed, these are the requirements that they have to request that assistant from us. So you have to have an open application with our office. You have to provide evidence that you have attempted to contact the employer. You can't just submit an application and say, I need a letter from him. We use that work experience statement. So we ask that you complete the work experience statement as much as you can. We will provide it to the employer and ask if that is true and work with them on how to fill that out. You must have worked for that employer for at least a year and you must not have any issues with the employer. Issues with the employer means termination for theft or things like that. I only bring that up specifically because we've had that happen. So once you have met those requirements, we will reach out to your former employer on your behalf to get that letter for you. We often have to explain the situation, and they are able and willing to sign those letters. We've been pretty successful with that. We also have an issue with deceased former employers. A lot of the time we can reach back out to a wife who has done the work and can attest to some of those things. So we review those on a case by case basis because they're all over the place as far as what we need to do. Again, this is our online system. Links to get actually there. This is just the handy looking link that you can easily type out. But again, there are LARA-BCC FAQs, express payment options for those quick renewals that if you can't log into your account, whatever, and you need to hurry up and get your license renewed, we can use that express payment. There's also those for searching for a license. So if you have friends or family members that want to verify somebody else's license that they're having work done on their house, no matter what trade it is, they can look for them that way. They can also call our office to verify if an individual has a license or the proper license. Okay, so now you've got a license. So now you can bid jobs, meet contractual and financial obligations. Permits versus licensing. A lot of the time, the work that you are doing is not clear about what it is. You're going to want to reach out to your permitting authority. If you have a license and you're doing the work and you are uncertain, reach out to them. Create those relationships with your locals because they will help you through this. So even if you do something incorrect on the job site, they'll walk you through what needs to be correct. So have that relationship with them. Again, you're going to want to determine service versus installation. Service does not require permits and inspection, but installation does. But unless it's the boiler, but that comes back to the state of Michigan. So you're going to want to look at that. There are legal exemptions for who is required to be licensed. Typically, it's a homeowner or a charitable organization. Um, then maintaining your license, do your code updates, continue any other continuing education, renew timely licenses that go beyond 3 years from their expiration date have to take an exam all over again. So avoid that at all costs. Even if you're not using your license, I strongly suggest you maintain it. I know it's a fee that maybe some people don't want to pay, but if you've got it, maintain it. Getting it back is what it can prove difficult. All right. So what happens when I don't have a license? You'll have civil lawsuits. If the job requires a license and you are not licensed, um, if for lack of a better way to put it, homeowner doesn't have to pay you. So you will file lawsuits against them or lien. You cannot file lien against a property if you don't hold the proper license. All that. In addition, the state can take action because the state has can take action against unlicensed individuals. So easier in the long run just to get the license. Look at the state versus local licensing. The city of Detroit is the only one who has licensing besides us now. They do their own electrical licensing, elevator licensing, and boiler licensing. Boiler permitting and inspecting. Um, the license integrity. When you have a license, it does show that you care enough about the trade that you have put the effort in to get the license. That's how you get your Better Business Bureau accreditation, you get referrals and recommendations, and you stay busy and make money.